Right, we've got the sun back at last. We've just had sort of 2 weeks of not much sun at all and sort of fairly cool, wet weather, so it's nice to have a full day of sun. Anyway, so I got to weeding most of the arid bed. I put a few potted cacti in that where there's any gaps. So that's that really. I mean, I do intend at some point to get some weed membrane down and gravel to cut down on the weeds, because that is an absolute nightmare weeding this. I stabbed myself many a times on many of different cacti which are hiding, which are quite dangerous. But looking at the Brahea elmata, and it's early days as yet, but I can see where the new leaves are coming out. I mean, I may be totally wrong, because it's a fairly small palm. It's only got a not even 2 foot of trunk. I'm thinking that might be a flower spathe coming, so we'll keep you updated on that. Now, like I say, I could be wrong, but that just looks like, I don't know, that's not a leaf coming out. That's on the outside of the leaf, so yeah, that'll be interesting. We'll keep you updated on that if anything happens. So yeah, if you can remember, I had a very large pot that the Paragibea came in, which was 3 foot wide and 2 foot deep. So I've actually stuck it in this corner here, and what I've done is I've got some of that cocoa coir matting that is usually used for lining baskets. I've just covered the edge with that, just to make it look a bit more natural rather than just a black pot. Obviously I cut the bottom of the pot out, so literally now that is a raised bed, 3 foot wide, 2 foot deep, open at the bottom. So I've got a little it's a Boutea odorata, but stricter, so it's supposed to be straighter fronds rather than sort of quite recurved like your standard Boutea odorata. It's very small at the minute, but we'll see. That's got a full that little full raised bed to grow into, so we'll see how that does. So that is a little job ticked off the list. So I am getting towards the end of the jobs. I had a unexpected job which I've just done a video on about the Trachycarpus. I had to do a raised planter for that. So yeah, there's always the jobs that you had plans, and then there's always them jobs that come up where you sort of want to whim buy something and have to do something with. Right, so what we have got is quite a nice new leaf opening up on the Trachycarpus nova, and that's a really nice blue underside to that, and that's, you know, a heavily cupped leaf. I am really enjoying the nova at the minute. It's one of my favourites of the Trachycarpus, along with the Princeps, just for the fact that it is very different looking to your standard Trachycarpus fortunei. Anyway, so I have put a few plants in. So a lot of the cheap bedding impatiens, which are very small at the moment, which is all along the front of the border, which will give us just a pop of intense colour, and they do really well. They fill out and give you that colour all summer long. They're non-stop flowers. We have got a few other sort of annuals gone in, so I don't know, you can't see it at the moment maybe, but underneath this the 2 banana trees here, or the Insect Morellii and the Tiger Banana, we've got a Ricinus, that is the blue giant, and we've got another one here which is the red form, I think that's Impala, and I've got another one further along which is Clara, which I've never heard of, but someone I didn't bother growing any myself this year, but someone sort of I done a swap with some plants, so I've got them, so we're going to try see which one does the best. So I do it every year with a couple of different types and see the results. So we'll keep you updated on that one as well. Right, so what else we got? We've got the elephant ears or colocasia starting to come through. This is the esculenta, and that has been in the ground all winter, and this first leaf pushed out there. We've got another one here which is a bit smaller, and we've got another one here which, as we can see, we've got a growth point here, and we've got another one coming there. So again, nothing other than a plastic cloche over them over winter, and as soon as it warms up I take them off and they'll grow away nicely. A little experiment I've done this year, so I've still got a cloche on this one, as we can see. That is actually a white lava, colocasia white lava, and I did have a little bit of a root about, and it's starting to sprout, so that survived the winter, which I was concerned about because it's been such a wet winter, but that actually survived. So I'll put a bit of horse manure on there, and I'm going to leave the cloche on there till it starts poking through. But that is a little experiment which was interesting, and that did pay off. So again, just with the colocasias, it's not an accident. We've got esculenta again coming up everywhere, been left in all winter, and all coming up again. We've got a few bedding plants in the centre bed here, just to fill out some gaps while the palms are so small. So we've got some coleus, got some of the Kong coleus, the big ones, which I always like them. And again, I've got some more impatiens. These are the New Guinea impatiens, which again, once they get established, they'll be flowering all summer long. Really nice hit of colour. So we've got various colours of them. So we've just got them dotted about just to give us a bit of colour. In here, that's particularly nice. I say this every year. I try and dig out all the pink china from this centre bed, and every year that pops up again. So this is what's happening again. I mean, so again, this has been totally unprotected all winter, which you expect pink china to come back, but that's almost like invasive. This comes up everywhere, and like I say, last year I had a session of trying to get rid of it all, and we can see how that's gone. It's just sprouting absolutely everywhere, but not a bad problem to have, I suppose. So what else is going on? I did finally get round to, which I've been meaning to get for a while. I've got the tag here. So we've got the fence here, which we've got some Fatsias and the Tetrapanics, which are still quite small at the moment. So we've got a lot of bare fence. So I wanted a climber just to go along there, an evergreen. So we went for the Clematis Amandii, and that's $17.99, and by all accounts it's a decent sized plant, to be fair. That's already sort of 4 foot with several growing points, so I've just fanned them out across the bed. I've got an old Tetrapanics stump there, so I'll leave one up there, and then we've got some wires going along the fence, so that'll go each way there, and then when it gets to this point there's some more wires going along the fence here, so that can spread out and hopefully cover a bit of the fence there. Yeah, I'm getting a bit sick and tired of these blinking slugs. You know, I expect it on the hostas, and this is a really nice hosta when it's got leaves. But yeah, the way it goes, but this what really got me annoyed. The whole new flush on the Fatsia spider's web, all eaten. Just the bare bones left. How annoying is that? Saying that though, this one's pretty much unscathed, so I don't know why they like the spider's web so much, but this is the variegated one, which is, in fairness, not very heavily variegated, but decent sized leaves. Just because there's been such a damp, wet start to the year, all the Fatsias have flushed out really well and really big leaves. So that's one thing, but again, with the damp conditions comes the slugs. Alright, so we have got the peonies just about to burst, which is good because they've held off while we had the rain. So if they open up in the rain, they're gone straight away. So they've stayed tight during the rain, and now it's better weather. They're about to open up, so there'll be really big, blousy flowers on there. Right, so one hosta that always stands up pretty well to all the slugs, and that is the Summon Substance. So this is one of the giant hostas, along with sort of Empress Ruru. They're the sort of two really big ones. Didn't seem to be as big as last year so far, but I mean, don't get me wrong, the leaves aren't small, but they're not, don't seem to be giant like they were last year, and I don't really know why that is. But anyway, so I did, when I was out on my trip last week, I did buy another Fatsia camouflage. Just because round my way I don't see them that often, and it's a reasonable sized plant for what was it, $10.99, and that's now starting to flush out, so I'm going to find a place for that. I mean, really would have been ideal in this shaded corner, but the other Fatsias and Fats Hedera are already flushed out this year and sort of really filling out the area, so I don't really want to cram anything else in there, so I might find somewhere else to put that. Right, so we've got the pond area, which I have been putting out a few of the colocaceas. Let me see if I can sneak up. There are a few fish in this pond, but I think down to natural selection, the goldfish have all been nabbed by the heron, but there's a lot of black ones in there. I know it's a bit of a contradiction in terms, but black goldfish, and there's quite a few of them, and we've actually got one, I don't know if it's come out on camera, but there's actually a koi there, which is one that found its way over from the koi pond when I had it. But anyway, that's a different subject altogether. Right, so pink chinas, so these ones, I've literally got a tiny little bog filter here at the side of the pond, where the water gets pumped around the pond into this sort of gravel filter and goes back into the pond. So there's nothing in here but gravel and water, and that pink china survived all winter just in gravel, wet gravel. So no insulation, no soil around it, no nothing, just pure gravel. And that's come back, and that's the strongest pink china I've got coming back in the garden at the moment. That's already starting to fill out that whole little gravel filter there. But what I have got also is a Black Magic, one of my favourites, and it's not huge at the minute, but that'll grow away nicely. That is just, the roots are just touching the water level in that gravel filter, so again, that's going to be natural filtration for the pond. As the water passes through the roots, they'll soak up the nutrients from that. Did have a big pot of what's this, Aloha. So that's the Hawaiian type of colocasia, so sort of slightly darker leaf, and that could do with a water by the looks of it, but that was in the hothouse and that got to a size, and the temperatures nighttime temps are good enough to get that out, so that's out there now. And then we've got this side, just another Colocasia esculenta that I started off early in the hothouse. And we've got a coal miner there, which again is just the pot is sitting on the waterfall, so water passing through the roots all the time. That should grow away quite nicely there. And I have just had a little area here which sort of got overgrown with sort of grasses and stuff, so I emptied that out, and we've got some Colocasia, white lava there. We've got a little coal miner and some more esculenta there, along with some bedding plants. Got a little Musa dwarf Cavendish, which I was going to leave out last year and let die, but I dug up and kept as a house plant over winter, so that's back in the ground now, so we'll see what sort of growth we get on that. The Thailandia delbata, or as I like to call it, the water bird of paradise. It just looks so much like a bird of paradise leaf. But yeah, that's in the aquatic planter there, so it's got wet roots. Yeah, so in general I've still got loads of tropicals to plant out and squeeze in, but I haven't gone too mad yet because the weather ain't really been up to it. But now, you know, we're in the start of June now, so we expect the weather to start getting a bit better and a bit of heat, so yeah, we'll get some more plants in. We've got the Eucomus sparkling burgundy, really deep, nice purple foliage on that. So there was actually 3 plants there last year, and now the 3 big ones have come back, and with lots of little ones around them, so they're starting to divide up their bulbs, so they do divide up and clump out eventually, so I could maybe next year split some of them off. But that will fill that whole centre area once that kicks in properly. And we've got another Musa dwarf Cavendish here. Looks like it wants some water because the leaves are looking a bit closed up. But again, that's one I was going to let die, and then I kept that going as a house plant over winter, and it's back out again now. So we've got some of the bedding plants out, some of the more tender stuff, but still plenty more to go in. But in general, things are looking pretty good. I think we'll leave it there. You can see the eucalyptus that really stands out. The bluer foliage compared to the rest of the trees. I cut that back not last year, I think the year before, so I might have to coppice that again to keep that under control. But yeah, we'll leave it there, and we'll leave it with this corner with the Gunnera. So when I've done the garden tour, I don't know if that's around mid-May, might have been early May, that this Gunner was just about a foot away from the fence. Now it is 2 foot over the fence, and some of the leaves are over 5 foot across. And we've got the big flush on the tree ferns. This one always flushes out well, and it did keep most of the foliage pretty much intact from last year as well, which is surprising because that is the most exposed tree fern, but that is also doing the best, along with the one behind or between the cord lines at the bottom there. That's done quite a reasonably sized flush as well, so it's all looking good, all going in the right direction. Yeah, so I've had a couple of cool weeks where things may have been at a slight standstill, but I think now's the time that's going to start really taking off. Right, Well, thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.